Today's demo will be on setting your parameters within the Pharmsaver system. From your home screen, you'll go to the Administrator tab and then hit Manage Account. Any demographic information that you put into the system when you signed up will come across and won't have to be edited. First item we'd like for you to address is your pharmacy type. We track all classes of trade, and this becomes important to you because this is one of the criteria that our wholesalers use for assigning pharmacies to the correct price level. So you want to let us know your class of trade. Moving on down, we'll now move to the primary wholesaler information. Pharmsaver has the capability to do a dead net to dead net price comparison for you, but we obviously need to collect some information from you to be able to do that. First, you'll choose your wholesaler from a complete primary wholesaler list. Pharmsaver is able to pick up your invoice or system price from your primary wholesaler. What we don't see is anything you're getting on the back end. So here's where you'd let us know about any type of back end rebates or promotions that you're getting from your primary wholesaler. Brands, for example, if you're buying your brands at -4 from your primary wholesaler and that's your invoice cost, then you'd leave your discount at 0 because we're going to be able to pick that up. But if your price is -4 but becomes -3 on your invoice and a point on the back end, then you'd need to put 1% in here as your discount on brands. On generics, we need a couple of fields of information from you. We need your across-the-board overall discount percentage right here on your generics. And if you're like most pharmacies that have a matrix based on certain criteria, we need you to one time go into this rebate tab and build out what that matrix looks like. So are you getting rebates based on your generic compliance percentage or dollar volume? And then what the various tiers are and the corresponding rebate that goes along with it. Would be either percentages or dollars on this side, and it would just be percentages here. Note that Pharmsaver can accommodate up to 10 different tiers. We haven't seen any rebate matrices quite that sophisticated yet, but we're ready just in case. So now, based on this information and this last field, discount code, which is actually something that we're going to add on your behalf once we know who your primary wholesaler is. This is a very important point of information because this is what allows Pharmsaver to be able to differentiate between source and non-source generics. This is important because you're only getting rebates on your source generics. So Pharmsaver's dead net comparison will take it down all the way to where we will, calculate rebates as you're getting them, but we won't be assuming them on items, whether they be from a GPO contract or another reason, where you're not getting rebates. Next, you're actually going to now customize the system to exactly how you want it to work based on how you operate your pharmacy. The first criteria, and possibly the most important one, is how you want to match, because this decision, lets us know, if you're giving us permission to suggest NDC changes, etc. So you have basically 3 options in terms of your match. You can match by GPI, which will be a complete match across all manufacturers of product. Please note that we'll use the full GPI number, so we will not be suggesting package size changes at this point, etc. We have a system called the Card Genie, which will be another demo that will be available for you that will show you those types of options. But here, the GPI match will be on the complete GPI. The option of NDC, which will obviously be quite a bit more restrictive in that we'll only be looking for the NDC that you are looking for specifically. Or we've actually created a hybrid that not only lets you, look for both, but do it at different saving levels. And what that does is it allows you to recognize the fact that perhaps because of how you run your pharmacy with automation, robotics, pre-packaging, etc., there may be costs involved to you to change generics. This way you can actually express those costs in terms of the savings parameters that you're looking for, with a direct NDC match vis-a-vis a GPI match. So once you've decided, next you need to give us your savings parameters. On brands, it's very straightforward. Keep in mind that we're going to be doing this comparison on your dead net. So like, for example, on a generic that's $100 on invoice with a 20% rebate, we're going to be starting with $80, not $100, and then your savings parameter would be off that $80. On brands, the example here is 1/4 of a point. On generics, you'll note we give you a percentage and or a dollar amount. The reason we do that is because it's important that you set your savings percentage high enough so that it's capturing a significant amount of savings, for you on lower end items. So for example, on $10 or $20 generics, perhaps you're not even interested in looking at anything that you can't save $1 on, which in some instances may make perfect sense that it's just not worth it moving it from your primary wholesaler. So you need to set that percentage high enough so that, it's capturing a significant number, on the low end. But the problem becomes if you only have a percentage available, then on the higher end, say for example, a $1,000 generic, the system can't suggest anything to you unless it's going to find savings for you over $100 at 10%. This way, you can also tell the system as a safety that what dollar amount becomes significant to you, because ultimately that's what one deposits are dollars and not percentages. So you can set that as well. In the background of Pharmsaver, while it's doing price analytics, we have a product called Reimbursement Alert. Reimbursement Alert is looking at everything you're getting ready to buy and actually bumping it up against a MAC database of your choice. So you have 3 choices available: your specific state MAC, PDP or commercial MAC, which are databases we maintain. And then we will bump everything up against those to warn you prospectively if we think an item you're getting ready to buy at dead net will result in a negative reimbursement tomorrow when you fill the script. We give you an additional option here to protect yourself as well, and we call this the reimbursement percentage. And what that basically means is that on items where we think you may have a reimbursement problem, you can actually come and tell the system, I don't need that 10 or 20% minimum savings parameter that I have up front because I'm going to lose money on this item. So you can put a lower number, whether it be 1%, 5%, whatever number. And basically what that allows is, in a best case scenario, perhaps we'll be turning a negative reimbursement into a positive. And in the worst case scenario, you're buying an item for less that you're going to potentially experience a negative reimbursement with. So you're basically losing off of a lower number, which means you're losing less money. The GPI override percentage will only actually populate if you choose NDC with GPI override as your match criteria, and then this is where you would set your separate, GPI override. So in this example, perfect NDC matches, you only need to save 5% for the system to, find you at least those savings. But for you to consider a change of NDC, you want to save at least 20. Short dated, we require all of our wholesalers as part of their upload into our system to also provide us with what the product dating is. And then you in turn can let the system know, if you're interested in purchasing short dates, or if you're not, in which case no short dated, or if you are, how short are you willing to take a look at something? And then finally, for our short dated app, which once again is another demo within our system, you can actually tell the system how aggressive you want to be in terms of buying extra above and beyond short dated opportunities that may be available. So you could buy it all the way to expiration through 90 days before expiration, depending on how aggressive you want to be. The final section within the parameters are checkout controls. And checkout controls are very important in that this is how Pharmsaver helps you maintain the integrity of your relationship with your primary wholesaler. Obviously, you have contractual obligations, in terms of volume, etc. So you can actually set delimiters within Pharmsaver in terms of how much product Pharmsaver will allow you to buy over the course of a month. A cart is what we call a day, so there's a block available there. And then we also have an item level block. So like, for example, in this scenario, any item over $5,000 would be automatically sent back to your primary wholesaler. The last option are purchase orders. You may be using them, you may not be. If you are, it allows you to set, a requirement to add purchase order numbers, whether it be across the board or by vendor, etc. Many of our customers don't use purchase orders currently, so we created an auto-generate function within the system that not only auto-generates purchase orders, but creates one more accountability trail within the Pharmsaver system. So with this, you've now set your parameters and you're actually ready to move on to ordering on Pharmsaver. Should you have any questions about this or anything else on the Pharmsaver system, please feel free to call customer service at 516-374-0920, and thank you for your attention.